I never thought I'd say this on camera, but I have now lost 75 pounds. I can't believe it. And you know what the weirdest part is? That it's not even the weight loss that has affected me the most. People keep asking me, what have I done? Was it keto, cardio, surgery? And to be honest, the answer is much deeper than that. I'm going to go into everything that worked for me and the things that didn't work for me, because there were a few times where I've hit a plateau. And I'm going to talk about the one thing that nobody talks about that helped me get through some of my lowest points on this journey. So stick around and let's jump in. Welcome back to another episode of Wellness from Scratch. My name is Marissa Jackson, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. So, 75 pounds. That number still blows my mind to say out loud. I really can't believe it. When I started this journey, I wasn't trying to lose weight in the traditional sense. I was trying to find myself. I was exhausted all the time. I felt disconnected from my body, from my life, from everything. I was literally just surviving. My mental health was not in a good place. My nervous system was constantly on overdrive. I was carrying so much emotionally and physically. And through it all, food became my escape. I wasn't lazy or undisciplined. I was overwhelmed. At first, it wasn't about the scale. It was little things, like drinking water, going on short walks, incorporating more whole foods within my diet, and drinking tea or ceremonial cacao in order to ground myself each morning. And this was so that I could begin to reconnect with my body and become more in tune with who I am. But then the weight just started coming off with all these new habit changes. It was slow at first, but with consistency, but the weight started coming off slowly at first 10, then 20, and 30. I remember when I hit 50 pounds and I thought to myself, wow, you can actually do this. Honestly, that moment changed everything for me. I realized that I had more power than I was giving myself. And this was the proof that I could trust myself, because deep down, I knew I was meant for more than just living in survival mode. I was meant to feel good in my skin and to show up for myself and my daughter. It is wild how much has changed, but not just in how I look, but how I live within my body now. I used to be stuck in this loop of negative self-talk. Every mirror glance came with judgment. Every bad choice I made felt like a failure. And every time I tried to change, it felt like I was starting from zero again. But now, my inner voice is different. Kinder, stronger, and more grounded. I have built discipline from the inside out. Not through force, but through self-respect. I do not hustle for my worth anymore. I rest when I need to, I move when I'm ready, and I listen to my body now. One of the biggest things that has helped shift my nervous system is introducing ceremonial cacao within my diet. Not just for the health benefits, but for the presence it brings me. It is a moment of connection and a soft start to my day instead of a chaotic one. That practice, along with other nervous system work, has helped me enough to actually hear myself again. I don't need to numb it with food anymore. I don't need to distract. I began to feel safe within my body again, and that is when everything began to shift. And yes, the physical changes are insane. My energy levels are on another level now. I used to struggle walking up the stairs into my house, and now that doesn't happen anymore, which I'm very grateful for. I honestly used to dread getting out of bed in the morning. I could not do it. And getting through the day used to feel like dragging myself through quicksand. It was so uncomfortable. But now I feel so much lighter when I wake up, not just in my body weight, but also with my mind. My mobility has also changed drastically as well. I honestly didn't, at my largest, I was pregnant, so I did not do much. I could not do anything. I had no mobility. I couldn't touch my toes, obviously. I literally would just kind of, when I could, roll out of bed and then like plop on the couch and then maybe like roll out of the couch to get back in bed. Like I did not move a lot at all. I was probably the definition of bed rot. But that's changed because now I get on the floor with my daughter and I dance with her, I play with her, I pick her up, I sometimes even toss her and throw her. She loves it. And we're totally safe about it, of course. And I can have those interactions and play with her at the park. And honestly, that was something I really didn't know if I was going to be able to do with my daughter. And I'm just so blessed that I can do that now. And obviously with this weight change has come other things like my clothes that used to be super tight or that I couldn't fit into, I now can fit into again, which is such a blessing. I actually popped a dress out a couple of weeks ago that I wore before I met my husband, and I put it on and he said, "Oh wow, I've never even seen you in that dress." And it just felt really good to know that I could fit in it again. Because honestly, before I kind of lived in a robe for a few months there when I was in my biggest. For sure, I was living in a robe and no clothes fit me. All I would wear at my biggest would be sundresses because those are the only things that fit. And now with this change, I've been getting more compliments than I honestly know what to do with. And while that's nice, what means more is how I feel about myself, how I carry myself, the way I speak to myself. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not done yet. This isn't the after. But for the first time in my entire life, I am not chasing the end point. I am just living, nourishing, and growing. And I am becoming the version of myself that I knew was there all along. So let's get into what is actually working for me. Because what got me here was not perfection, it was consistency. I do not follow a strict diet whatsoever, but I do eat with intention now. I focus on whole foods that actually nourish me, things that give me energy and don't leave me feeling groggy or heavy afterwards. I have stopped seeing food as the enemy because it's not the enemy, it's a tool, and you are what put the meaning to the tool. Humans are what put the meaning to anything. It's fuel, and honestly, sometimes it's therapy too. I used to restrict myself or overdo it. There was no middle ground, and now I ask myself things like, how do I want to feel after I eat this? And honestly, asking myself that question is what changed everything. Some of my go-to meals lately are so simple, but they're so good. I have been obsessed with spicy food recently, considering someone gave us a 2-pound can of jalapenos recently, so I've been coming up with every recipe under the sun to utilize those. I am not kidding. One of my favorite quick meals is a toasted wrap with shredded chicken, light cream cheese, some jalapenos, and Parmesan with lettuce. Or I'll make a jalapeno scones or jalapeno and egg muffins mixed with veggies. A really good freezable breakfast for my husband to take to work. And then there's my love. Recently, I've been getting into making bagels, and just the other day, I made some jalapeno cheddar bagels. Living where I do, it's very hard to utilize the things I used to. I remember I used to get the Asiago bagels from Walmart all those years ago, and you just can't find stuff like that where I live now, but so I just make it with my heart. And I'll eat my homemade bagels with either eggs or some cottage cheese and hot sauce when I want something that is comforting and balanced. I don't really do hardcore workouts. I move my body in ways that feel good for me. Gentle walks, stretching, yoga at home, beginner Pilates at home, dancing around with my daughter. I make it fun. I get my steps in every day. I've come to realize that it's not about punishing my body. It's about reconnecting with it. And honestly, my nervous system work that I've been doing, like slowing down, creating rituals, like drinking ceremonial cacao, that is what has helped me to stay more consistent than anything else. When my mind is regulated, I don't binge. When I feel safe, I don't sabotage. Journaling and this podcast have been huge outlets for me as well. I don't write huge essays or anything. Sometimes it's just a few sentences about how I'm feeling, what I need, and what I'm proud of. The most important thing is getting it out of your head and not bottling it up and letting yourself be able to process it. I have also started using timers and music to begin to shift my energy. Basically, if I feel stuck, I'll put a 3-minute song on, and then I'll get up and move my body and dance, or maybe I'll tidy something. And that one little shift can honestly stop a spiral. Getting your body active and getting that energy out of you. It's not fancy, it's not perfect, but it's sustainable and it's working. I wish I could say that the weight just kept falling off, but that isn't how this works. I had plateaus where I was doing everything right, but nothing was changing. I was eating right, sleeping well, moving my body, but the scale was not moving. Honestly, I think for 2 whole months throughout this process, I started maybe 10 months ago, and 2 of those months were complete plateaus at complete separate stages. And I'm not gonna lie, it does mess with your head a little bit, especially when you're trying so hard. I've had weeks where I honestly didn't even care what the scale said. I was just tired. Mentally, emotionally, physically. I even became burnt out at a few points during this journey. And I honestly didn't even realize that I was burnt out until my body started screaming at me to slow down. It came in the form of stress, anxiety, overthinking, and I've had days where I was so triggered and overwhelmed that I went back to old emotional eating habits. I'd feel like I'd failed when I was just trying to fix something that was much deeper. And honestly, I have had to face a lot of emotional weight along the way. Grief, anger, stuff I had been carrying for years. One thing that has helped me through that is learning to pause instead of quit. Instead of going all in and giving up, I started to ask myself questions like, what do I need right now? A nap, a walk, a cry, cacao instead of coffee, a break from all the pressure? There were just moments where I had to give myself permission to rest without feeling guilty. And once I learned to start regulating my nervous system, it actually became a lot easier to make healthy choices. Not from punishment, but from self-respect. I did not push through the hard days with willpower. I adapted, I slowed down, I gave myself grace, and that is what kept me going. If you're watching this and you feel like you've hit rock bottom and you feel like it's too late, or like you've messed up too many times to get it right, I need you to hear this. You are not too far gone. I can promise you that. I did not start this journey with a perfect discipline or even a game plan. I just knew that I wanted to start. And I started where a lot of people start, overwhelmed, exhausted, and feeling completely disconnected from myself. I didn't even trust my own decisions in the beginning. I was scared of failing again. So if all you can do today is drink a glass of water and take a deep breath, then that is enough. That matters. Do not wait until you're ready. You build readiness by starting. And for me, the biggest shift wasn't physical. It was mental. I stopped asking myself, how can I lose weight? And I started to ask myself, how do I begin to feel safe in my body again? I began treating weight loss as the side effect to healing, not the main goal. The more I learned to regulate my nervous system, slow down, and stop pushing myself with food or workouts, the more my body responded with love and not resistance. I am not some fitness influencer with a six-pack. I am a regular person with a past, trauma, and everyday stress. I've cried through workouts. I've messed up meals. I have stopped and restarted more times than I can count. But I keep showing up, not perfectly, but consistently. And that is what got me here today. If I have done this after all of the times that I have given up on myself, then I know you can do it too. You are stronger than you think. And your journey doesn't have to look like mine. It just has to be yours. You're not broken. You're just becoming. So, am I done losing weight? No, not quite. I still have more I want to lose, but I'm no longer chasing a number. I'm chasing a feeling. I want to feel strong. I want to feel light inside my body. I want to feel like I can run along with my daughter and move throughout my day with energy. And I just want to genuinely enjoy being in my own skin. Right now, my focus is shifting a little bit. I am losing weight, but I'm also starting to think about toning, building strength, shaping my body, and maintaining all of the progress that I've made. I don't want to just be smaller. I want to be resilient. There's a mindset shift happening too. In the beginning, I was just trying to survive, to get through one healthy decision at a time. But now I am making choices from a more empowered place. It's not just how do I avoid falling off, but how do I build a life where falling off doesn't mean I lose everything I've built. As my body has changed, I've also had to change my approach. What was working when I was 50 pounds heavier isn't necessarily working for me now. I don't need to restrict myself. I need to be nourished. I need to recover. I am learning to be more in tune with what my body is trying to tell me, not what diet culture says I should do. And honestly, I'm proud of myself, but because I chose to keep going when I had every reason not to. And I'm gonna keep showing up, not because I hate my body, but because I love it, and I love it enough to show up every day. If you're on your journey right now, whether it's 5 pounds or you're just starting to think about making changes, I see you and I have been there. This isn't easy, but it is possible, and you are not alone. Why don't you guys let me know down in the comments below what your recent milestone is or how you want to feel in your body. And even if your milestone is, I drank water today, or I took my dog for a walk, that still counts, and let me know. I want to hear it. Let's make this comment section a place where we hype each other up. If this video has made you feel seen or gives you any amount of hope, please hit that like or subscribe button. It really helps my channel thrive. And if you want more raw and real life updates like this, where we talk about the mental, emotional, and physical side of transformation, hit that subscribe button because I've got so much more to share, and it really helps our channel grow and thrive. If this video has resonated with you and you want to learn more about how you can mindfully eat or be more present in your body with regards to nutrition and food, check out this video right here where I talk to a functional dietitian. I'll see you guys over there. Bye.